Listen closely, and I mean really lean into the cold, strategic, and unyielding frequency of this final transmission before we take our well-earned break. Because in the year 2026, the global machine has successfully and dangerously convinced the average man that networking is a supreme virtue, and that having 10,000 digital followers is the same thing as having an actual army at your back. But Andrew is here to tell you that in the year 2026, most of your so-called connections are nothing more than social liabilities, energy vampires, and potential leaks in your sovereign perimeter. They want you surrounded by yes men. They want you distracted by shallow gossip. And they want your circle so wide and porous that any traitor or saboteur can walk right through the front door of your life unnoticed. They have turned loyalty into a cheap, temporary hashtag and brotherhood into a shallow business card to be traded for personal gain. But today, Andrew is swinging wide the heavy, double-locked, and reinforced steel doors of the 85th vault of the Edge Archives, the Alliance Protocol. We are decoding the lethal, tested, and absolute loyalty of John Wayne, a man who understood deeply that on the frontier, the man riding next to you is either your greatest asset or your quickest and most certain path to a shallow grave in the sand. In the year 2026, popularity is a trap designed for the weak-minded, but a sovereign alliance is the bedrock foundation of a lasting empire. Doctor, record this opening protocol for the permanent archives of the year 2026. A man with 1,000 acquaintances has no true friends, but a man with 3 brothers of steel is practically invincible. We are studying this circle of steel today, the godlike ability to prune your social garden until only the strongest, most resilient roots remain. Stand back with me, partner, because the frontier doesn't reward the most connected man. It rewards the man who knows exactly who will stand his ground and hold the line when the ammunition runs low and the smoke of battle starts to rise. Analyze this psychology of the inner circle with me with a cold, surgical, and unblinking eye, because in the year 2026, the global system is terrified of a small, tight-knit group of men who operate on a secret frequency of absolute and total trust. Think about the Duke's posse. He didn't ride with just anyone who happened to have a horse and a gun. He rode with men who shared his internal code, men who didn't need to be told a command twice, and men who would literally die before they betrayed the mission or their brothers. He understood that a man's strength is multiplied tenfold when he has a circle of steel around him. We are decoding the vetting process today. In the year 2026, the machine uses inclusivity and radical openness to dilute your focus and introduce permanent instability into your private life. But the Duke operated on the high principle of extreme exclusion. Doctor, examine the Duke's private records on vetted Brotherhood. Look at how he tested a man's character in the small, insignificant things before ever trusting him with the big, life-altering secrets. In the year 2026, your ability to fire friends who do not share your core values is a mandatory survival skill. When you stop tolerating mediocrity in your inner circle and start demanding the same iron discipline you apply to yourself, your life instantly begins to accelerate toward its ultimate objective. The frontier was won by small, elite groups of determined men, not by large, chaotic crowds of undecided observers. Never let the social pressures of the year 2026 force you to lower the entry requirements for your private circle. You are the gatekeeper of your own alliance, and until you learn to be a ruthless, cold auditor of your social circle, you will always be vulnerable to the subtle sabotage of the mediocre. In the third and most strategically critical layer of the 85th protocol, we address the back-to-back law. You see, in the year 2026, the machine has promoted individualism to the point of isolation, making you believe you must do everything alone, or collectivism to the point of dependency, making you a slave to the herd. But the sovereign man chooses a third way, the strategic alliance. We are decoding the force multiplier today. In the year 2026, you need men who can cover your blind spots while you focus on the horizon. The Duke didn't just need bodies, he needed specialists. Men who were masters of their own craft and masters of their own word. Doctor, record this for the permanent Edge Archives. An alliance is not based on affection. It is based on shared objectives and mutual competence. In the year 2026, you must audit your circle for reliability. If a man is late for a small meeting, he will be late for the battle. If a man lies about his past, he will lie about your future. You must be willing to stand back to back with your alliance, knowing that the ground behind you is secure. This kind of trust isn't given. It is earned in the mud, in the struggle, and in the silence. John Wayne knew that a man's word was the only contract that mattered on the frontier. If the word was broken, the alliance was dead. In the digital age, where everyone hides behind screens and pseudonyms, a man who stands by his word is a rare and lethal asset. Find those men. Bind them to you with ironclad loyalty. Build a fortress of mutual interest that no external force in the year 2026 can breach. This is how you move from being a target to being a power player. Analyze the lethal art of social pruning with me, because in the year 2026, your greatest threat doesn't always come from the enemy in front of you. It often comes from the friend sitting next to you who has grown resentful of your progress. We are decoding the cancer of envy today. The machine loves to plant seeds of discord within small groups to ensure no one becomes too powerful. But John Wayne had a zero-tolerance policy for treachery or even the hint of disloyalty. Doctor, examine the Duke's philosophy on removing the weak link. He understood that one compromised man can bring down an entire regiment. In the year 2026, you must be willing to cut ties with anyone who brings drama, inconsistency, or doubt into your circle. This isn't being mean. It is being a protector of your mission. A sovereign man cannot afford to carry dead weight. If someone in your circle is constantly questioning your ambition or dragging you back into the habits of the herd, they are an agent of the machine, whether they know it or not. You must have the courage to stand alone rather than stand with those who diminish your light. Think about the Duke when he had to cast someone out of the group. It was swift, it was final, and it was non-negotiable. There was no room for second chances when lives were on the line. In the year 2026, your psychological life is on the line. Every person in your circle of steel must be a net positive. If they aren't helping you hold the line, they are helping the enemy break it. Clean your house. Sharpen your circle. Only the elite remain. We are closing this alliance building, circle sharpening, and strategically elite 85th chapter of the Edge Archives with a final proclamation of the Circle of Steel. Look at the people you have chosen to walk with in the year 2026. Would you trust them with your life in a desert storm? Would they hold the door while you escape the fire? If the answer isn't a resounding and immediate yes, then you are walking on thin ice, partner. You have adopted the Alliance Protocol today, and you are starting to realize that your power is not just in yourself, but in the quality of the men who stand with you. John Wayne's final and most enduring lesson for us before we take this break is this: surround yourself with men who make you better, men who hold you accountable, and men who are as rugged as the land they walk on. Don't settle for the shallow company of the machine's servants. Build your circle, test your brothers, and forge an alliance that will stand the test of time and the trials of the frontier. This is Andrew, signing off from the 85th Vault of the Edge Archives, taking a moment to survey the perimeter and appreciate the few, the proud, and the sovereign who ride by my side. The world out there is going to keep trying to sell you fake friends and digital hollow men, but the sovereign man knows his brothers by the scars they share and the code they keep. Go out there today and audit your circle. Cut the dead wood. Strengthen the steel. Stay rugged. Stay loyal to the few. Stay completely, unapologetically sovereign in your alliances until the world sees your circle and knows better than to challenge it. Andrew out.